Peace, world. Hope. Oh, this is powerful. All right. Peace, world. How you doing? It's your brother Mikey Fevo with another episode of NYP Talk Show. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, super chats. Tell a friend and tell a friend we are here to give you that good content, that good information, and bring a bridge amongst all cultures for understanding and respect for others. So, with that being said, tonight we have our special guest, as always, a familiar face, a knowledgeable sister, a queen, Miss Ayabas Wynd.
Hi,
Peace.
everyone.
Peace. I'm over here vibing to this music. This music right here is something else.
Yes, it'll
Yeah,
turn
man.
you. It'll turn you up.
Yeah, it definitely will. Very, very relaxing. Very got you in the zone, you know?
Oh yes.
Definitely. So tonight episode, we'll be learning more about the mysteries, the understanding, the spiritual, the divination of the Orishas, Oya and Oshun. Did I say it correctly?
Yep.
All right. So Miss Ayabas, tell us, give us before we go into the show, into the topic. Tell us a little more about yourself. Reintroduce yourself to the NYP platform, to our audience. Give us a background of you. How did you
Okay.
get into this practice?
Well, I was born in Hawaii.
Oh,
Raised in between New York and the DMV area.
oh,
Um, I was born into the Catholic faith, and basically the nuns in St. James Cathedral Basilica in downtown Brooklyn were like my mothers. So I
mm,
was pretty much in St. James Church for several years when I was growing up.
yeah.
My grandmother took care of me, and yeah, so that's a very interesting point as far as my spirituality is concerned.
Wow. A Catholic church amongst nuns.
Yes, downtown Brooklyn, St. James Basilica, right near the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
And then, I went to college. I went to University of Maryland. And it was then when I was in African American studies with Dr. Ackland Lynch, who is famous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he had me really question, my spirituality and my belief system. And
Mm.
at that point, that's when I went on a journey to explore where it is I felt the spirit, what moved my soul.
All right.
And
Before we go into that, I'd like to know how was it growing up within a Catholic community amongst nuns? Like, were you studying to be a nun yourself?
no, I wasn't. My grandmother was actually, she was a cook in the convent at St.
Mhm.
James Cathedral
All
in the
right.
rectory. And
Right.
so she would take me to work with her every day.
Mm.
And I was a very mischievous child.
Uh-huh.
And so I would have the nuns chasing me all around the convent and the rectory.
Really?
Um, yeah, um,
Ruler?
with a ruler, yes. And so, but even though it was, there were some challenging times, there were some nuns that really bonded with me. Sister Alice and Sister Mary, who
Mm.
are Ibaye now. They're passed on, their ancestors. Well,
Oh,
their spirit, they're in the ancestor realm. They're not my ancestors, but they're spirit guides.
all right. Rest in
Um,
peace.
yeah. And so it was very interesting. So I had a Catholic upbringing.
Oh, word. All right. So the Catholic upbringing and
Hmm.
into this, have you managed, like, in some way, see the two intertwine in some aspects?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's essentially what Santeria is. So, that is the African deities being hid behind Catholic saints,
Mm-hmm.
that syncretism. And so, even though I wasn't initiated in Santeria per se, it was more in the Lukumi line.
Mm.
So, in that line, there's no hiding behind saints. You
you.
know,
Got you.
Obatala is Obatala, Yamaya is Yamaya, Oya is Oya, Shango is Shango. You
Hmm.
know, the Orishas are who they are, and there's no syncretism.
I
There's
like
no
that.
Santa Barbara for
I like
Shango.
that. Straight to the source. Lukimi go straight to the source.
Yes, and I was
Uh,
crowned in a huge Ocha house in Bed-Stuy named Ileashe, which was
mhm,
led by Mama Stephanie Weaver, OK Shande.
mhm.
And so it's a very famous house.
That's peace. That's peace. That's
Hmm.
beautiful. That's what's up. And if you don't mind me asking, at what age did you get crowned?
Well, I'll tell you this.
I know it's not nice. It's not polite to ask a lady for what
I
age,
was
but
crowned in 2013,
that's peace.
although I entered into the house in 2000.
Uh-huh.
So in those years leading up to my crowning in 2013, I
Hmm.
was an active student
Hmm.
of the tradition, practitioner of the tradition, learning prayers, learning bows, learning how to work ceremonies, helping to crown other people's ocha. Even though I
Hmm.
wasn't allowed behind the curtain, I did, spend with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, um, working in the kitchen and doing the other things, very critical, important things to other people's ocha. Once I was crowned in 2013, then I was able to go behind the curtain and actually, play sache on
Hmm.
the yawo and, do all the inner workings on the other side of the curtain.
Oh, that's
So
peace.
yeah, so in the last 20 years, 20 or so years, I have been actively working OCHA and not just sitting with my OCHA collecting dust. No.
That's peace right there. Gotta give you a
Mm.
shout out for that one.
Thank you.
That's deep right there, and we respect that very much. And like
Thank
I
you.
want to let the people know, check her out, man. Sister's very deep. She's
Yes.
knowledgeable and no joke. And where can people reach you again?
They can reach me at Ayabas Wynd, AYABASWYND 999 at gmail.com. I
Mm-hmm.
also have a YouTube channel, Ayabas Wynd, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have a Instagram page, Ayabas Wynd, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, request me, and because the page is private,
Yeah.
and I'll accept you, and then we'll start the conversation.
All right. That's peace. So let's now to jump into tonight's subject. We're gonna learn more about Oya, and Oshun. Oh, shout outs to brother Ron's in the building.
What's up?
Hi.
Oh, brothers in with
Oh,
the
hold on.
Africa hat.
My mic is not on. My mic is not on. Peace to everybody. Thanks to y'all
Hi.
for coming through. I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
come out. I like to make a little cameo every now and again.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, the brother's here, man. Trust me. Shout out to brother Ron, man. That's soul brother number one.
Okay.
So he makes his cameos. Let's talk about. I got a question for you, right? How does Oya embody the forces of sudden change, and what does she reveal about transformation in human life?
I mean, for Oya, Oya is different for everybody, So even though I'm a daughter of Oya, I can't say my experiences are the same as someone else who is a child of Oya.
Hmm.
But for me, Oya basically imposes change on your life, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So, I knew somebody, child of Oya way
Hmm.
back when.
Hmm.
And, she was doing a lot, running here, running there. And once she got crowned Oya, Oya was like, yeah, no, you're doing too much. And
Hmm.
so, as much as we want to control situations and kind of impose our will on situations, Oya, as well as the other Orishas, but I'm speaking about Oya, she is real swift to be like, no, you're doing too much. And she will essentially knock you off your feet. So, this particular person I knew, she broke her ankle.
Mm.
Um, And,
Man.
she was out of commission. So she could not be running around doing this and that. And that was how Oya shut her down and slowed her down.
Damn. All right. So being that we spoke about that, the embodiment, the embody of
Yes.
forces and sudden changes, can we get a description into who and what is Oya?
Oya is the female warrior. Sometimes people will have Oya in their life because maybe they don't have a voice, or maybe they don't feel like they have a voice, or maybe, people have taken advantage of them, a large part of their life, and they need more of a forceful presence, a warrior
Mm-hmm.
energy in their life. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is when Oya and other warrior energies enter into people's life. And so as much as I have Oya crowned, I also have Oshun's energy.
Mm,
And for me, I must, as I venerate Oya, I must also venerate Oshun.
mm,
Um, and it's interesting, on my crowning on Bembe Day, when I was,
mhm.
being introduced into the community, an elder priest of Oshun got mounted with Oshun. And Oshun came down and said, "Oh, yeah, you're getting crowned, or yeah, but I had you first. And so you can never forget about me."
Got you. So you say that you although you venerate one, you can't. You must mention the other. So that's the deal. Like you can't utter one without saying the other.
Yes.
That's a taboo.
Uh-huh. So Maferi Fun Oshun, Maferi Fun Oya. Oya has my head. Oshun, in the community, they usually say if you have two Orishas that are, I wouldn't say fighting over you, but like have a much stronger presence in your life, they usually
Mm.
say, the other Orisha has you from the neck down.
Oh wow.
And so they would say, Oshun has me from the neck down. Oshun has my body, but Oya has my head.
Mm.
And Shango is my father.
Oh, that's deep. Shout out to
Because in
Sean.
Ocha, you get a mother and a father.
All right. Oh, that's okay. That makes sense. That does.
Hmm.
And when you have another one, what's like an auntie or something? I don't want to correct me if I'm wrong. Like
Oh, Oshun?
yeah, like
Oshun
mother,
is
father,
like
and aunt.
my other mother.
Okay, I got you.
So I have two mothers.
Got you.
And with
That's
respect to each one of them, Maferi Fun Oya. And
my
Oya
favorite.
is no joke. And just as that happened to someone I knew who was a daughter of Oya, it happened to me shortly after I was crowned Oya. People were taking advantage of me,
Oh
taking
wow.
advantage of my kindness and of my service. And so, because at that time I was, doing my best to be an obedient goddaughter in the tradition and being
Mhm.
respectful, it was difficult for me to say no to work certain ceremonies and go to certain things. And so, Oya was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." You're not going to listen. You're not going to stand up for yourself. I'm going to stand up for you. So,
Mm.
it came to a point where there was a certain ceremony that I was supposed to work.
Mm.
And, or yeah, somehow I got sick.
Damn.
It was just super random. No, like, event that happened before. It was just out of the blue. I couldn't get out of bed. And
Wow.
so, I was like, okay, you also are going to have a seat. You're going to have several seats, and you're not going to be, I'm not going to allow people to take advantage of you. So I'm
Oh,
going to keep you in bed until the smoke clears, and then I'll let you get up when I'm good and ready.
sounds like guardianship right there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it's no joke. She's not a joke, not a game.
Got you. So the question number two is, in what ways is Oya's power over storm symbolic of inner emotional turbulence?
What way is her power? Can you repeat that?
And in what ways is Oya's power over storms symbolic of emotional turbulence. Like, in what ways, like, does she like manifest when people have an emotional issues?
Oh, okay. So again, I'm speaking from experience, and I'm also speaking from other people who I've had conversations with about Oya and how Oya has worked in their life. Usually Oya appears, there's evidence of change and revolution in someone's life, a storm, or in
Mhm,
tarot they call it the tower, tower
mhm.
moment, upheaval. Usually, Oya is present when you start seeing flies all over the place.
Damn.
Flies are one of her minions or her symbols, her the presence, the symbol of her presence. Okay. And so
Mhm,
when you see, you know, flies, you know that there's something pending or impending, whether it's
mhm.
impending doom or impending change.
Yeah.
And so you got to brace yourself. And it's basically, you know, with that, if you are an obedient godchild, you will get down on that mat, moforibile, and you will
Mhm,
be shaking the bean pod, the bells, the shekere, whatever it is you got to
mm.
be communicating with the Orishas to help to get you through the storm that's about to happen.
So basically, she gives you warnings. It's like the calm
Sh-
before the
She
storm.
gives
Something's
you
about.
warnings. Sometimes the warnings are loud and sometimes the warnings are subtle. And in those subtle moments, it's deliberate. It's like, okay, you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So
Mm,
you want this, you want to carry this crown, then
yeah.
you better be totally in tune with what's happening spiritually. And if you're not, you get spanked. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
hazing.
Oh, okay. Got you. As far
So
as
for
and
other people, you know, having a Orisha crown may be all nice and sweet and rainbows and unicorns.
mhm,
No, I'm here to tell you it's not always that. No, it is not. But I'm a
damn.
daughter of Oya, so I can't tell you what it's like to be crowned Obatala or Shango or Alegba or Ogun or any of those. I'm talking about Oya.
Speaking from your experience there, and I respect.
Hmm.
So what are her primary colors? Oh yeah, like
Oya's colors are like very sultry, like burgundies and browns and chocolates,
mm,
you know, sometimes red, because Shango and Oya are very similar to each other. And you know, Shango's colors are red and white, predominantly red. And Oya also has red in common with Shango.
oh really?
So for me, when I, you know, work with Oya and you know, when I prepare for my yearly celebration, my what's called an Ocha birthday, you
Hmm.
know, and I have to dress my Orishas, I have to properly honor my Orishas and honor the day that I was crowned,
Mm,
you know, years ago. We have fabric or Osho,
mhm.
and the fabric that I usually choose for Oya, it's usually like purples, you know, like royal purples and burgundies. And sometimes I'll do a splash of red for her.
Got you. And that's for her devotees, right? And
Yes.
what if you could expound on that? What offerings are made to Oya?
Oya will take, you know, dark fruits,
Mhm,
definitely eggplant,
mhm,
akara, which are the,
mhm.
you know, the bean fritters.
Okay.
Um, and you know, it's different for everyone, but generally she takes the eggplants, she takes choco wine,
Mm,
red wine. Red wine is a big one for her, at least for my Ocha line and for my Oya. I don't know how other people's Ocha line does with, you know, their Oya, but my Oya, she loves red wine.
I got you.
Hmm.
And you
Which
did
is a
mention
little, it's not as sweet as Shango's port. Shango loves red wine, but it's port, so it's much sweeter.
my sweetheart. Got you.
Hmm.
That's wild. And for a warrior, he likes sweet wine.
Cool.
Shango, you saying he likes
Yeah,
that sweet
Shango
stuff.
and that Taylor port wine. Oh my God. He
Word.
loves that.
I got you. So you mentioned Shango earlier. So you saying correct me if I'm wrong. Oya is kind of like Shango's counterpart or like a sister or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's his wife. Oya
Oh,
is
okay.
Shango's wife. So they share energy in the sky, the
Okay.
storms, the lightning, the thunder, which is really Shango, but it's also Oya. Oya is the storm. But you
Wow.
don't want to be in the storm. You want to be the eye of the storm.
Yeah, all right. I got
You
you.
want to stay in that calm place. And that's, staying in that calm place and not being
Mhm.
swept up in the turbulent winds. That is through being obedient child of Ocha, which is prayer and meditation, having as best of spiritual hygiene as possible and staying
Got you.
connected.
I got you. So, um, it's a good question right here.
She
Why
likes
is oh,
chocolate too, or y'all loves chocolate pudding and all of that. Yeah.
oh really?
Yes.
No flesh, like no kind of meat, nothing like that.
Well, no ram. I'm just
No.
gonna say that. No ram.
All right. No
But
ram.
everyone is different. So when you make ocha, you have your ita day
Hmm.
where all of the Orishas speak. The Orishas will give you your taboos, your airways,
Okay.
and they'll let you know what you can eat and what you can't eat.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice right there. Damn.
And it's the reason why you can't eat these certain things sometimes is because those are the things that the Orisha will um, use or require to save you from harm and danger.
I heard something like that before.
Yes.
Within some voodoo ceremony rituals, certain things
Hmm.
with certain food you can't eat. Wow. That's why I say this. The stories are they all connected, just told differently, but it's
Yes.
very similar, and that's so beautiful.
There's many different Ocha houses, many different lines of Ocha. People practice in many different ways.
Mhm.
And so, I'm not one to be judging how other lines and other people practice. I just know what I do.
Yeah, of course. To each their own, and it's respected.
Mhm.
So I have a question for you. Why is Oya often feared more than other Orishas, and what does this fear teach about respect for natural forces?
Oya is the mother of Egun. She's the mother of the ancestors. Okay. And so, they associate Oya with the cemetery. At the gate of the cemetery, she welcomes the bodies in to the
Oh.
gate. And so, usually, Oya is associated with death, with the dead.
Mm,
And I've been to different drummings, ceremonies where children of Oya often are viewed in a very fearful way. And
mm,
I couldn't understand it, but I had an elder explain it to me. It's like, well, Yah deals with the dead, and of course, I knew that, but people have different understandings of what Oya is, what her energy is, and so many people are afraid of her. And
really?
so, whereas Yamayase, which is, the feminine aspect of the divine that rules over the oceans,
Hmm.
motherhood, children, family, abundance, health, reproductive health of the women, and all of that. She represents life. So,
Hmm.
for a child of Oya to be in the presence of, a Yemaya being born or, that kind of thing. For some Ocha houses or some people, they get very afraid because of
Okay.
what Oya represents. And then, because Oya is at the gate of the cemetery, people automatically get weirded out and scared, with the spirits of the dead. So,
I don't know what to
you
tell them,
know,
man.
yeah.
That's powerful right there.
Yes.
Wow.
And in
Damn.
voodoo, who do we have in the cemetery? Baron
Granby,
Samdi,
Barasamdi, and Granby.
Brigitte,
Yeah,
or is that in
that's his
New
wife.
Orleans voodoo?
I think believe in their hoodoo as well, Baron Samdi,
Yeah.
and I believe so. But Granby Jeet and Baron Samdi.
Yeah. So
Like
people get weirded out with that. And so, yeah, I mean, if I was someone, I definitely wouldn't mess with a child of Oya.
Tell them.
Whether they knew what they were doing or not, just on the
Bumbo
mere strength.
Club!
Man, and that's true. No, I wouldn't want to mess with
The
them,
sound
honestly.
effects are crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with them though, but it's true.
Um, yeah, but I definitely would not play with a child of Oya. There's no way. She's got the Egun behind her and all the
Mm-hmm.
spirits in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then Shango is her husband? Nah, you have to be crazy. You have to be out your mind. Whether
That's
the
wild.
person knew how to work their Orishas and, do other sorts of magical spiritual things or not, I
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't advise it. No.
So does Oya has a particular? Most Orishas or spirits tend to have like a weapon of choice, and
Yeah, I mean, when I
possesses a
was
weapon.
crowned Ocha, she
Mhm.
had the machete.
Okay.
So at my drumming, at the coming out ceremony, the bembe, the party
Mhm.
day,
Mhm.
when I was on the throne, it was the machete and the arukere, the horsetail.
Oh, really?
So she has the machete in one hand and she's got the horsetail in the other.
Or did you get rocked with it? Did they hit you with it?
What?
Did they hit you?
Did it hit me
Yeah, like did they
when
swing
I
it at
was
you?
whipping the horsetail around?
Yeah.
No, but I hit a whole bunch of people with it.
And what does that symbolize? Is when you hit those people.
So, if the person who is dancing for Oya has an Aruka Ray and
Mhm.
this person has Oya come down on them, they get montao or
Mhm.
possessed. Sometimes the horsetail and or cloth, the Osho, is used to clean people. So,
Mm.
the Orisha, the horse, the caballo that's mounted, the elegun, that's
Mhm.
mounted with Oya, may want to, clean the people that are in attendance at the drumming. So they may use the fabric, they may use the horsetail to clean the people of any osobo or negative energy of
Got you.
ofo, ogo, araye, iku, eyo, and fitibo. So confusion, chaos, sickness, death, all of these things. So, at drummings, not just Oya, but other Orishas who, descend down upon their horses
Mm.
may opt to do a cleaning depending on if that person needs it or not, or if the community needs it or not.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Wow. It sounds like there's a lot in entail with Oya's energy and presence. Like she's a healer, nurturing
Yes.
mother,
Mm-hmm.
warrior, a guardian of death.
Yes.
Are there anything, say for instance, in everything in life there's polarity, there's pros and cons.
Yes.
What are the cons of Oya? Say for instance, you doing
I
all your
wouldn't
good
say
stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's cons, but like I said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's wonderful when people go through the experience of being, through their year in 7 days.
Mhm.
My year in 7 days was very rough, but
Mhm.
I mean, look at the Orisha that I have. I have Oya crown. So,
Yeah.
that's a warrior energy. So, in my process, she was building me up.
You have to go through
Okay.
the battles of life.
Huh?
You must go through the cycles and battles of life, basically.
Yes, exactly. And so I am not Oya, but I have basically you know, she's using my body as a vessel
Mm,
to do the work that needs to be done.
I got you.
Okay. And
I got
so, Oya is just, she's not to be played with. And so it's not anything light. Yes, you have Oya, and there's not many people that get their heads marked Oya. There's a lot of
you.
Oyas out there, but it's not as common as, say, other Orishas, other people getting crowned Oshun or Abatala or Shango or Alegba. So, and in my experience, a lot of the children of Oya, they're very, they like to function independently.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
did.
say they're
I read
wayward,
about that
but they
somewhere.
show up when they show up.
All right, got you. So how
Hmm.
before we go into the Oshun aspect, how is Oya invoked during times of personal upheaval or crisis? Like, what are the steps? If you could, you know, disclose some.
It's really through a lot of prayers. Like, it's you getting down and moforibalang, saluting your Orisha and
Mhm.
submitting to the Orisha and praying and doing ebo, which is sacrifice in the form of foods, adimu, feathers if need be, whatever, making offerings, and asking Oya to intercede in certain situations. Okay. And,
Gotcha.
I was in a particular situation where, there was protocol that was required in a particular situation,
Hmm.
protocol that was set up by the house,
Hmm.
um, and was supposed to be reinforced by, elder priests.
Yeah.
And, every time that I went to, try to honor that particular protocol, or
Hmm.
yeah, stop me.
Really.
And well, there were situations and circumstances that prevented me from doing that. And then when I finally had a conversation with Oya, well, through divination, through throwing Obi, the coconut, to Oya and communicating with her,
Hmm.
Oya was like, no, I don't want you to do that. And she's like, I don't care if it's protocol or not. That is not what I want you to do, and you won't do it.
She sounds controlling.
So I had to honor what Oya was saying. And so I got a lot of flack for it. I got a lot of heat from people in the community, in the Ocha community, because it was protocol that was set by the particular elders or whatever. And it was a part of, how things were done. But my Orisha said, no, you're not doing that. So, I have to honor the Orisha.
Now I respect that. I was saying she sounds a little controlling.
Yeah, well, y'all's no joke. And I just think like, you know, um, it's an honor to have Orisha crowned, no matter what Orisha it is. But people have to understand that it's a pact. And when you agree to, this pact, when you agree to um merge souls and spirits and merge this energy, allow this energy to merge with you and to
Hmm.
enter into your vessel, you got to surrender control.
Wow.
You got to surrender control because these are energies, these are aspects of the divine. Who am I to say no? Oh yeah, you can't do that. Nah, she's an aspect of God. She's the aspect of the divine. Is what she
Mhm.
says goes, and I don't give a damn who or what doesn't like it. If Oya says it, that's it's law. That's it.
It's going down.
It's going down just like that.
All right.
And I don't care if it's boyfriend, husband, godparents, whatever. If Oya says no, it's not happening.
All right. So before we go into Oshun, this is how Oya sounds in your head. She be coming off like this in your mind.
Yes, that
You
is
bring a
how
drum.
Oya is. So
Fuck
you
you and
you
your
feel me?
motherfucking mama.
Oya
We gonna
is
kill
I'm
all you motherfuckers.
channeling a
That's how she
life
be
part of
coming.
Oya's energy.
That's how she be talking to you.
What?
Sound like
Bring
Oya
the
Bronx.
is no
drum.
joke.
Fuck you and your
They can play
motherfucking
with
mama.
Oya if
We
they
gonna
want.
kill all you motherfuckers.
Yo, let me stop playing. Yo, just goofing off, man.
Do you feel
So
her energy though?
yeah, when I met you, you know you could be intense. You know when you yeah you know.
Look, I try to be not Mafeti Fun Oshun because we're going to be talking about Oshun. So Oshun helps to smooth it out.
Mhm.
You
Smooth it
know what
out.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because
So
yeah.
oftentimes I have to take, a spoonful of honey to set my day straight so I can be in a much sweeter disposition because Oya does not play games. She is not about the bullshit.
Hmm. Yeah, I gotta. avoid her. See it coming to block. Just be like, yo, I ain't dealing with her, man. Like, I'm gonna go back outside. I'm not dealing with that. She sound like
Oh
she's
my
just moody.
God.
Like, she's just moody all day. Like, damn. Like,
Woo!
yeah, moody.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna talk about Oshun, how power her
Hmm.
essence, right? How does Oshun flowing river energy symbolize adapt adaptability and persistence?
She's a beautiful energy, and I'm not crowned Oshun, but Oshun's energy is all over me. And so Oshun, she can also be, a serious force to be reckoned with, but she knows how to smooth things out. She's very charming,
Mm-hmm.
witty, charismatic, smooth. She loves beautiful things, the finer things, and this, and that, and her colors are very soft and pretty and romantic. And,
Mm-hmm.
she's represented by the butterflies and the bees. And, she loves honey and, beautiful music and bells and nice things. Like she's all the pretty things, and
Mm-hmm.
she's, really pivotal and important and integral in relationships between two people that are romantically involved. And I'm just saying that in honor of same sex couples as well, but between men and women as well,
All right,
most
I got you.
importantly.
With that, it just sounds so familiar. It sounds like the story of Urzuli Donto and Urzuli
Mm-hmm.
Freda, the sisters. Donto is a loving mother, caring, protector, but she's
Yes.
fierce.
Uh-huh.
Then you have Freda. The attributes of Freda is loving. She's sweet, all about love, pink, emotional, but also fierce
Oh, yes.
when the time comes.
So
Sometimes,
they have this duality. There's
yeah.
this sweet aspect to them and there's a very
Oh, we lost connection for a
sorry.
second.
I'm still
Oh, we lost connection. We lost connection. Ah. For the people that are viewing, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. We got super chats, as you can see on
Can
this
you hear me?
platform. I can hear you. I just don't can't see it. The connection failed for a second.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Here we go.
It's a bit
I'm back.
disrupted. Yeah, it's distorted. Okay. Need to get some tea in my throat.
Okay. I you see now.
Huh?
It's more like you see
I
me?
can't. No, just pure darkness. Now we can see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but the connection is broken. It's breaking up.
So
Yeah, I think we lost. All right, now we got you.
yes.
All right, now we got you. What I was saying earlier, prior
Uh-huh.
before the disruption, I was like, it sounds like Erzuli Donto and Freda's story between those two.
Oh yes. Well, you could tell me more about that.
Well, from what we hear, Erzuli Donto is the mother. She's represented in voodoo. Those who do the synchronicity of voodoo as the Black Madonna with the three cuts in her face, holding a child.
Okay.
Right? And Julie Freda is represented by the lady, Our Lady of Sorrows, with whole dressed in pink or something they call it in Spanish, De La Rosa. I forgot her name. Forgive me. I'm gonna get persecuted for this, but
Oh,
I forgot.
Dolorosa?
Yeah. So it's two sisters that were in combat with each other over Ogu. And so, as legend is, they say that Freda cut Donto in the face. If you
Uh-huh.
notice, they're sisters. They work together, but they don't get along. It's a weird story. Everyone has their
Mm-hmm.
spin on it. So, one represents hard work, maturity, mother. The other one is a hopeless romantic.
Uh-huh.
He's young, like seeking love. But the older, the mature one, as Julie Donto, also represents mature, love and maturity, wealth, hard work, protection. They both do, but in different, to different degrees.
Isn't Danto much more practical, whereas Frida is more romantic?
Yeah, hopeless romantic,
Yeah.
hopeless romantic. Yeah, like
And
always
Danto's
crying.
like, girl, you better wake up.
Yeah, always crying and
Uh-huh.
whatever, as the legend says. So I lean more towards the Donto side.
Okay.
The strong black mother that I got your back no matter what.
Yes.
Like thank you, mama.
Mm-hmm.
Fred, I don't disrespect the Fred. You can't mention one without the other. Yeah, respect it too, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Just gonna cry about it.
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
but but I'm more into the Donto. But I see the kind of hear the similarities in certain areas of how
Yeah,
they are
Children of
depicted.
Oshun, the energy with that, it
Mhm.
can be very sweet. You definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of a child of Oshun. But Children of Oshun, there's a lot of jealousy that they
Yeah.
have to deal with. And so I think that's one of their big challenges as they walk their path is jealousy.
Mm.
Many women, if you can embrace your divine feminine energy, which is really that of Oshun,
Mhm.
as a female, there are many women who struggle to embrace that energy or who don't have that energy. They can't find it, or they've been so hardened that, it's hard for them to, you know, be able to tap into that energy. So, with that comes a lot of jealousy. It's self
Mm.
love, it's body love, it's divine love, it's romantic love, it's passionate love, it's beauty, honoring yourself,
Mhm.
honoring your femininity. And, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're always tapped into that, And so, daughters of Oshun, not to say they don't have their struggles,
Mhm.
but they tend to uh you know what do you call it, emanate that energy.
I
And
got
so
you.
there's many people who are jealous of it, and then there's men that can't handle it, you know that
Mm.
serves a lot of possessiveness and insecurity, in dating a child of Oshun, whether it's a man or a woman.
Do you think that sometimes some people tend to these gray areas in life or these difficulties amongst human interaction tend to blame it on the Orishas at times to
Yeah,
escape
I mean, some
accountability?
people can be like, oh man, like, if I didn't have this, if I didn't do this, then maybe things would be different. But and that, I think that's for people who, just bought their Ocha. In my Ocha house, in the house of Ile Ashe, you can't just buy your Ocha. you
Mm.
know, you essentially, you don't get haze per se, but you gotta put in some sweat equity. And you gotta learn all that you need to learn as an Aleo and on your road to being a Yawo and a priest of Ocha, whether it's a Baba Losha or a Ialosha. And
Con.
so, in my Ocha house, they were not selling Ocha. Just because you got the money that you need to buy the Ocha, and some Ocha houses do that. They're like, oh, you have the money? Okay, I'm gonna crown you Oshun. And they have
Mm.
only been in the Ocha house for a month or 2 months, and then they buy their Ochan. They can say they're a priest of Oshun or a priest of Obatala. And they don't know
Yeah.
the first about working in Ocha, about getting their clothes dirty, about learning, what it is that, needs to be learned. And they walk around with, these collares, aleques, and this crown and have this big ego and want to flex, but don't know the first about working in Ocha. And then they start, when things go wrong, the first thing they want to blame is, oh, the person that crowned me or the Ocha. I shouldn't have done this. Well, maybe you should have just waited a little longer and worked the Ocha for a few years. And then, at that point, your godparent would, consider crowning you. But you can't just, and that's a very dangerous thing. Me, I have godchildren. And I tell them, like, look, this has got to be something that you really want to do. And if you can't handle working ceremony and, showing up for events and, learning all the things that need to be learned, then you're not ready for Ocha.
So
And you're
Ayabas.
darn sure not going to be blaming the Orishas for your downfall.
So you saying people are being initiated in TikTok inboxes and
Of course,
Instagram?
of course. I'm not going to be mentioning no prices. But if you are in Ocha, you know what the prices are. And some of the prices can be absolutely ridiculous.
All right, can you give a number?
Huh?
What's the number to get initiated online? Like who do I email?
I'm not giving no number.
Who do I
But
email?
people know we can talk about it off record, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, providing people with down payments to their house.
Oh, word.
Like,
Damn.
it's crazy. And this is coming from hearing certain things. And, as my god brother, who has, people have attempted to bamboozle him as well. And no, it's not right. Everything costs. You got to pay huh?
I got something to say. If you're looking for spiritual stuff, man, I got this candle right here, man. Let me tell you, you light this candle, man, it would change everything in your life, man.
Oh, really?
Listen, you have, it comes with 6 tickets to the Tupac concert and Biggie Small show.
Wow.
If you buy this candle from me, man, selling it for $59.95. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you get it too, right on TikTok.
Listen, I be seeing people doing this online. I'm not trying to rain on no one's parade, but I'm like, damn, this is what you're doing now? You selling culture?
Yeah, but the karma and the osobo that comes with it is nothing nice. And they, probably some of those people can make it they can squeeze by a few years of some good years, but then when that osobo hits, ooh, I wouldn't want to be him.
Listen, I got pots for sale too, man. Listen.
Bet you do.
I got a spirit in here if you want it. The spirit right here. So all you gotta do, take some sanitizer. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. It's gonna work, fam. Holla at
I'm
me.
sure it will.
No, cause we had Baba Victor on here. He watched this show. He was impressed with your show. Shout out to Baba Victor.
I saw his clip too. It was great. I think I follow Baba Victor on TikTok.
Yeah, he mentioned that he had heard about people buying pots online, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. Like,
absolutely ridiculous.
Really?
It's absolutely ridiculous. And anyone knows you got to sit on the mat and you got to have the Oriete, the Oba, the Santero read that out. Read it out. You got to see what you need to get. You got to bring your behind from wherever you are. If it's California and you want work done in New York and you want to receive Orishas and Ocha and all that, you better hop on a plane and find your way over here. You can't, how are you going to buy a pot online? But people are so desperate and they want this quick fix. And then when they get the pot and they get whatever, and they start trying to work it, and then they unleash Pandora's box. It opens up and all kinds of hell breaks loose in their life, or nothing happens at all because it's a dud. Either way, that's a nightmare. And that's when then you get people coming to you, oh my God, this and that happened. Oh my God, we divorced, my husband cheated on me, the kids are going crazy, there's accidents, all kinds of stuff. What did you let into your house?
A pot that had chicken bones in there.
Exactly.
A Chinese restaurant. Listen, people are crazy.
And not even that. It's like people collecting antiques. You got to be careful with even buying masks online.
Yeah.
You have to, like, even buying like, the flags. What do they call the Haitian voodoo flags?
The mouchoir.
The mouchoirs. Like, you don't know, has that been pre-owned by someone? Has it been worked? what kind of energy is behind that?
That's a fact.
It's true.
That's a fact. Even buying candles from a store, you don't know who touched it before. This is why you must cleanse your spiritual stuff before you utilize them. You can't
Yeah,
just
I'm
pick up
not buying
a
no
candle.
prepared candle from someone who might be suspect. Okay, because
Exactly.
not everyone that works in a botanica knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? There are botanica owners that are
Mm, mm,
spiritualists and not crowned in Ocha. So
mm.
that's fine. You work your spiritual stuff, but you have to go as a consumer, and you gotta peep the energy. If the energy is funny, don't buy it.
They're not gonna like you for this, Ayabas.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because you're messing up somebody's business. They're gonna be like, yo, come on, I'm just trying to eat, man.
But if they run an honest business, why not? Why
Yeah.
not? The House of Hoodoo lady, who, sinners, they tapped into her, and she was consulting with them to help them to create, the character for sinners. The lady, I can't remember what her name was.
House of Hoodoos?
House of Hoodoo. Yes, she was based
Really?
down in New Orleans.
Oh,
At
wow.
the time, she's not there anymore because of some scandal and issues that happened, between her and her business partner. Nothing that had to do with her. But
Okay.
I would definitely buy from her, you know. But that's just the gift of discernment. You can't just be picking up anything from anywhere. You have
Hmm.
to really, be able to evaluate, you know, the energy and see if it's good for you. Is it going to be a good match?
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
It could
That's
be a
true.
good match for somebody else. The energy of the botanica or spiritual store could be really dark, and there's people that it will attract. Okay. They have their consumers, they have their customers. Good for them. But
Mhm.
I will not be stepping foot in that botanica.
I got you. Speaking of botanicas, a few months ago in Brooklyn, I heard they try to rob a botanica down on Broadway. I think the Bushwick
Oh,
area,
that's Baba
Williamsburg.
Rudy's. I think the only one that I know on Broadway,
Hmm.
um, that's owned by a Black Cuban. I think he's an Omo Batala. If that's
Okay.
the botanica you're talking about, he's on Broadway.
Yeah, they try to rob it, and I was like, these
That
idiots.
that's the bad move. Bad move. He's a very powerful priest, very powerful. He's opened up his if it is who you say it is,
Hmm.
he's opened up his space for, humongous drummings,
Hmm.
and crownings of Ocha there, and they must not have been in their right mind. Anyone who attempted to rob his place, they must not have been in their right mind. They would not want to do that. And if they did it already, they better get ready for some serious karma.
See what happens
Yeah,
out
I
of the
think he's
two.
one of the few botanicas on Broadway.
I believe so.
Yeah, he's
Think
not
that's
far
the one.
from Woodhull Hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that. Yeah, so you know it was that one.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's
yeah.
Baba Rudy.
So between Oya, mean that you must do it both. If a person decided to get crowned into this culture under Oya or Oshun, right? Will they be forced to pick between the two, or sometimes it just both will just come at one time for them?
Nah, you don't pick. So what happens in my Ocha and my line of how we do it?
Hmm.
We bring our godchild to an oriete, a santero who reads the shells.
Hmm.
And, it's called a head marking.
Hmm.
And we, have a list of Orishas that we ask to see who has this child or this client's head. And we go through the list. And it's the shells of a legba, usually
Hmm.
that are determined, that determines who has this person's head.
Got you. I got you. Appreciate that. Well, Sister Ayabas, it was great having you on the show, beloved.
Yes.
You were straight on the money, direct. Your energy venerated as both on here. So
Mm-hmm. Maferi funo ya, maferi funo shun, maferi fun ego, maferi fun bobo orisha.
Mafedi Foon. I'm saying it correctly. What does that mean? Before we
It's just,
everybody.
giving thanks,
All right, Mafedi Foon. All right, that's
like
dope.
all praise.
All praises, right? All praises
Yeah.
due. Mafedi Foon to all of them, and thank you for educating us about Oya and Oshun. We gotta have a part two
Okay,
to go
great.
to go in depth because you have a lot of information and it's important to learn more because I like to talk more about the other feminine deities as well.
Yes.
As we know the Oshun, Oya, Yemaya.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any others before we get out here? You could just give us a
There's
quick rundown.
Oba.
Oba. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yegwa typically doesn't get crowned. So it's usually people, they get crowned both masculine and feminine. Obatala, Shango,
Mm-hmm.
Elegba, Ogun, Ochosi, Yemaya, Oshun, Oya. Yes.
I
And
got you.
Oba.
Oba. Oh, okay. I got that.
And I got you.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so familiar.
Mm.
I've heard that before in somewhere in the Haitian voodoo thing. I heard that before.
I got you. Uh-huh.
Uh,
So those are
yeah.
that's like the typical ones that get crowned here. And other places they may crown other Orishas, but we typically don't crown like a Lokun, which is the, a water energy.
Okay.
Yeah, or Babalu. But some places do, I guess. So
We have to go live with you. I want
I
to.
would
I want.
love to go live. That would be
Uh,
great.
I want people to call in, ask questions, because this is the. I don't know. I'm saying kind of a renaissance.
You
Miss
know what? And I
Congeniality. She
just
does.
would say, I just want to say, like, when I was in a Leo, in the early 2000s,
Mhm,
and my head was marked for Oya. I think
mhm,
my head was marked for Oya in 2008, 2009. I didn't make Ocha till 2013. Um, but because there were not a lot of children of Oya, Omo Oyas, that I could talk to talk about the experience, what it's like, any
mhm.
tips or things like that. A platform like this would have benefited me. It would have helped because I would have felt more supported in that way, you know, um, because like I
Yes.
said, there's not a whole lot of children of Oya.
Well, there's a time and place for everything, and
Yes.
everything. Not everything happens on perfect time, and so your voice being heard on here can help out other children over yeah, those who
Yeah,
feel they're not
definitely.
heard, who need help. And don't forget to follow the sister. You can find her, Miss Ayabas Wynd. She's on all social media platforms. Check the handle. Check her out. We got videos of her talking about divination from tarot reading down to Lukumi and Santeria. And we got to bring her in for another episode
And I
of.
do private spiritual, I do private spiritual readings as well.
Mhm.
I don't read in person at my house, but all I need is your name, your date of birth, and we tap into you spiritually, communicating with the ancestors,
Mhm.
and your spiritual, your cordon espiritual, your cuadro espiritual, your spiritual court. And,
Mhm.
that is one aspect of, developing yourself spiritually. And a lot of children of Oya are spiritualists. So,
Mhm.
you know, many of the children of Oya that I know are passing mediums, so they can pass the spirit in spiritual settings, like, spiritual masses like misas and things like that.
Oh yes, yes.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about that. With that being said, people, we are out. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Shout outs to Miss Ayabas Win. We gotta give her applause. We gotta give her horns. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming out, beloved.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we gotta do this again. This is NYP and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Ah.